Let's talk Gamestop, the company so true. Not just the price, but the value in view. Fundamentals will rise or fall in time, but first we climb this mountain high. Be more invested, rise above the game. Love her or hate her, she speaks with flame. Her voice will shine like morning dew, guiding us all to see what's true. She's kind and smart, her heart so pure, generous soul that will endure. She lifts us up, she makes us fight, encourages us through the night. Think for yourself and take the lead. Build a future, plant the seed for your family, for your name. Light the fire, fan the flame. Her words will echo through the years, melting away all doubts and fears. With every truth she helps us grow, showing the path we ought to know. She's kind and smart, her heart so pure, generous soul that will endure. She lifts us up, she makes us fight, encourages us through the night. Think for yourself and take the lead. Build a future, plant the seed for your family, for your name. Like a fire, fan the flame.
Can you feel the thrill? Can you feel the pop? Can't stop, won't stop, let's Gamestop. Power to the players, to the mountaintop. Pulse racing, adrenaline high. On the edge, ready to fly. Chasing thrills with all my might. No looking back, I see the light. Lights flashing in a blur. Nothing can hold me, I'm a connoisseur of danger, passion, and the rush. In this game I refuse to hurt. I'm a thrill seeker on a quest, pushing limits, putting to the test. No mere just pure desire.
At Marshalls, our buyers hustle 24/7, so you never have to compromise on quality or price. We're getting you a better deal because we believe that everyone deserves the good stuff.
Volunteer shares sliding for a sixth straight.
Oops. All right, guys, I have not been on for a while, and I just thought, let's come on. Hope everyone is doing well. Okay. So let's talk about the market real quick. I don't know how many people are here, but anyway, just gonna talk anyway. I know you guys are probably falling off. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the market real quick. I know I haven't been on for quite some time, but during that time, it's been a wild ride for sure. Now every stock, right, except GameStop, has done leaps and bounds for some reason. But we know what GameStop is. I don't have to tell you guys what GameStop is. But hopefully, if you're new to this, make sure you learn as much as you can about this company from the fundamental end of things, and then whatever people are telling you about whether it's going to go down from here or up from here, that's up to you to decide. But the always stand strong, like if the fundamental is good, then the rest will take care of it of itself. For every great companies out there, you need some strong foundation, and this company definitely will have a strong foundation for you to stand on for decades to come. Okay. Let's see. So as far as the price action, it seems like there's a bit of a, what is it, a run yesterday, yeah. Friday. Now it's a bit tamed, right? I know, like anytime we see a 1.6%, we're like, oh my gosh, to the moon. And I'm not saying it won't, guys. It's been compressed so much, right? Hey Matt, what's up? Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. But anyway, so before I go into all of that, I like to address a comment that I got from Tony. And I know like people are like, oh my god, are these two collapsing already? But yeah, I make a respond, and I don't know if you guys have seen it. I mean, mainly I disagree with his whole entire premise. It's like, oh, we need like to try to say we need more conversation like this. But typically, he's always skewed towards like the downsides of things, and while trying to pose like he's more like, oh, on both sides. Like, we know that you're skewed to the downside. And of course, like I'm guilty of the opposite, right? I'm skewed to the upside. And so let the best man win, right? So that's the idea. But that's just a small commentation on that. But just to be clear, I never contact him or anything to try to be on his video or anything like that. Or he never contact me to try to be on my video either. So that's the only interaction that I have with him on the comment. Let's see. Anyway, just in case somebody, trying to say we're collaboration with Tony or whatever. I'm not. And again, I disagree with his whole premise. on GameStop and promoting AMC as well. Keep in mind, I was watching him way before Moran's even, so I know exactly what he's trying to do. And I know, Tony, if you watch this, you know exactly what I said on that comment. And I agree with Moran's about you, so sorry about that. Not looking for confrontation or anything like that, but it's just I've been watching you a long time ago before watching Moran. So I'll just end it there. Okay, so let's get back to the rhythm of things. Now, I do get a bit rusty because I haven't been on quite a bit. I've been busy and feeling a bit down. Something happened personally, and I don't want to share too much. But yeah, I'm okay now. But anyway, I've been having fun doing the AI generated music, and I hope you guys enjoy that too. I don't know. I'm thinking like maybe I should make a separate channel just to, do music about GameStop and all that stuff. I just have fun with it. Most of it's free. Some of it I do buy, the rights to them. So I hope, the free one is not going to get me flagged. But apparently, if you buy the rights to it, you will. I guess you own the music. There's no copyright or anything like that. But yeah, I have to do some more research on the one that are generated for free. So, anyway, anywho, hope you enjoy it. Okay, so what is going on with the price of GameStop? Nothing much, and calm before the storm type of deal. I really think something is brewing, but I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if the price were to come down. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Because remember, when fear kicks into the market, the people tend to be so emotionally charged. And, when you're holding this company for a long time, especially traders out there, swing trader and the like, they typically feel like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna put a stop loss over here, and then wait until buying, wait until it's coming down so that you could buy it at a lower price. Guys, you've heard about stop loss hunting, right? So that's also happened too, because the reason why you wouldn't want to do that as a trader, right, to do a stop loss, is because look at this, right? So how many people have been stop loss and then immediately reverse? Like, unless you have the foresight to buy it right there, set an order, but typically your order might not even fill, you guys, because it just wake up so quickly, and so you miss the opportunity, to buy it at this price. Right. That's why, again, DCAing is such a powerful tool for people to, not really stressed out about, accumulating in the position. So, but yeah, I mean, I still have my position, not the whole one. Remember, I do have a portion in which I do trade in and out. So right now I'm in crypto because I feel like crypto has a better, return. However, I still, don't know when GameStop is going to be, so that's why I'm still exposed to GameStop. The most amount that I have, for my moon back. So, but currently, of course, if I'm doing pretty well on crypto, but I'm kind of waiting on that blow off top that people are talking about, and so I don't know, like, whether they are going to run Jimmy along with the crypto market to, to try to kind of tamper the growth of Jimmy. Unfortunately, Jimmy, trading volume is not enough to create that hype. But again, I'm just talking about the price of GameStop. I'm not talking about, the fundamental of the company. So you have to separate the two. Please don't conflate the two. Like, I don't know if people will clip this and say, oh, look, Paymore is not, it's bearish on this company, saying that it's not going to happen. This is not going to happen. No, I mean, the truth is, I don't know, you guys. Like, nobody knows. I like, even with yesterday's speech from Powell, people were positioning, themselves, and with the bear, they typically lose money because they think that, oh, look, Jerome's gonna crash the market in spite of, the job data and all that stuff. And it never happens, right? I think, the decision to lower the rate or whatever, it's just overhyped to the point where it's a tool for these institutions to either sell their whole position or buy their whole position at that moment in time, right? Now, because I'm privy to the crypto market, that's why I'm always talking about the crypto market. But apparently, the S&P 500 went crazy too. Well, let's take a look at it real quick. The Nasdaq went crazy. Which one? But yeah, it was a fun day yesterday, but I wasn't betting on calls or puts or anything like that. Because again, like that price movement may not happen. I'm trying to find, oh my gosh. Goodness, you guys, like, I should set this up. Report for attendant, long time no see. I know. So yeah, I've been kind of on a mental, I guess, what is it, mental break for the week. Nah, I'm okay. Nothing way too serious or anything like that I can't get out of. Yeah. I mean, life happens. So what matters is whether you could get back up or not. Doesn't matter how many times you fail, get back up. And just to be clear, it has nothing to do with stock going down. It has nothing to do with Jimmy not doing anything. I know, like, every time people see me sad, my in my personal life, people are like, oh, what happened? Did the stock go down? Because I always talk about stock market and stuff. No, it's not. They were just like joking. But yeah, thank you for joining in. But anyway, so let's get back to, oh no, I feel like I'm trying to find, okay, I'm trying to find the S&P 500 chart just to see you guys. Okay, here we go. This is insanity, you guys. Insanity. I'm sure, like, people covering it, and this is the end of the recession that is to be. But listen, you guys, if the Fed were to lower the rate quicker, okay, which can happen, the stock's gonna come down. The rate is low for that moment, but that doesn't mean that it's going to affect the Main Street yet, because they just decided to lower the rate. Now people are expecting, oh, it's going to be 25 basis point, and all that stuff. It could, or 50 basis point. But my point, if it's more than that, people are going to freak out. Okay, so don't be surprised if the next, whatever meeting or wherever, whenever they do their September, rate lowering to whatever, 100 basis point. Imagine how many people would be panicking. Okay, so don't be surprised to see, it come down to this level right here. And this is the index. Now, it could just go up. It could just go up like that, for the next couple of weeks to try to lure more people in. And then immediately drop. Right? Whatever economic data is coming along. I truly think that the blockchain industry is going to carry the next bull run for the whole market. They've been kind of hinting all of the stuff that could happen where, and again, guys, like I'm just guessing here, okay? It's gonna do anything that I'm telling you here, so don't be get twisted. You might say that I don't have any data to back this up. This is just me, speculating, okay? But the fact that it's like close to the all-time high and it really doesn't reach that, it needs more, I guess, news, like more good news. And currently it's just empty air. Empty air. But the one thing that never fails is the fact that, government spending, money printer going burr, right? So how can you get any recession when you just keep printing money? And of course, that's going to erode your buying power for sure. And it's already in motion. The spending bill already signed into law. And so, for the next 4 years, you're going to have to either position yourself. I know people who are trying to short the market might not, win with that temporarily thing. But, the whole point of the option market is for you to have that insurance. Like if something happened to your portfolio, you could just buy, if you want to protect your portfolio, you would buy put on the market just in case, that drop is too scary. At least you get some, but you still expose yourself to the long leg of the, it's like, for example, let's say you have 100 shares of, S&P 500, right? You'd be a millionaire, by the way. If you have 100 shares of this index and you want to protect yourself to the downside, people typically buy puts. Okay, they buy put to protect themselves. But they don't, or sell covered call, right? And, at the top right here, just to protect their, some of it, again, like depends on the premium and or time horizon in which you want to protect your portfolio. So that's the way to protect your portfolio if you were to be long on this market. Again, it's not meant for people to speculate, okay, now people are going to be, hedging their portfolio, so therefore the put's going to be more expensive, which is, you could make tons of money if you're right on the direction, but if you're wrong on the time frame, doesn't matter. If you're right on the direction, you still lose money because, if you're just off by a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I have no idea what this is. I don't know, people. I get this scam call all the time, you guys. Crazy. But anyway, so, but yeah, so that's the point of the, option chain or option in general. Now it's turning into like just gambling, right? If there's demand for it, of course, it's going to happen, you guys. Like you can't stop people from gamble. I have a portfolio that I do, sometime buy calls. I don't have calls right now of any kinds. Right now, I'm just straight up shares. And not to say that I won't buy calls again. It's just that, some security, it's a bit hard. Especially with GameStop calls and puts and all that stuff. Just to be clear, I never buy put. Okay, I'm always skewed to the upside. I sell put though, but not lately. Not lately. I should. I think I should. Like, my plan here is that, if I have, let's see, the crypto market, just do that blow up top thing, right? So Bitcoin, again, like, I don't have much Bitcoin. I do have some. If it's 100,000, no, 100,000 million. What the hell? If it goes to $1 million, I'll be okay. I wouldn't be set for life or anything like that. But if it goes to $100 million, though, which is what, 1,000x from here. Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy, no? 1,000x from here or 1,000,000x? How many zeros is that? So if it's 10x, it's one. Okay, right. If it's 10x from here, ballpark, it would be $1 million a coin. Okay. I know people are gonna be like, oh my God, that's never gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen this cycle, you guys. But I hate to say guarantee. I have a strong belief that it's gonna go high. You know about stock to flow, right? And again, no matter what happened to the market, to the rate cut, whether they cut rates or not, yes, that panic will temporarily, cause people to sell Bitcoin because it's the highly volatile, highly fluid. It's 24 hours a day, you guys, of trading. So people will decide because, again, the traders out there, they cannot wait to get out of their position. If they don't get out of their position, they will be either liquidated or they just got liquidated automatically. Okay, if you trade on leverage and all that stuff. So again, my point here is you may see the price going down. However, if you look at the long-term trend, I mean, come on, you guys, like, it's a no-brainer, huh? My base case is still, 4x from here, right? It's going to trade above this stock to flow, right? And the longer, it's still trading under the stock to flow graph right here, the better. Okay, look at how many times, like, it never traded below this. And so this is undervalued, you guys. Like, again, in my opinion, maybe I don't know how to read this chart, or this chart could be flawed as well. The stock to flow is just accounted for 463 stock with the flow of money coming in, the supply for Bitcoin. And again, like, the miners out there are overwhelmed by these institutions, these companies that are copycats of MicroStrategy, to try to do the same as MicroStrategy. And again, that's also introduced more risk into Bitcoin. But all in all, if you have at least 10 years worth of buying, power, or buying consistently and all that stuff, you don't really care about, this time, like, this little blips of the moment. You would care about this right here. Right. So 10 years from now, if you look at, well, actually 5 years, look, it doesn't have to be 10 years from now, you guys. Look, 5 years from now, you're going to see that Bitcoin is going to be higher from today. And again, I don't to the matter of the degrees of whether it's going to be $3 million a coin right there, or just just $1 million a coin next cycle. But we haven't seen any hype coming to this market at all, and people are already like trying to get you to tap out of the market, right? And they tried, you guys. They tried yesterday. I mean, look at how low it went down. People were calling, a recession and scaring people. Let's see. And even today, like, it doesn't do much. This is Bitcoin, of course. Like, this is the time for altcoin season. Obviously, Bitcoin is not going to do much. And people are going to be like, oh my God, Bitcoin is over. It's shit to hold Bitcoin. This happens all the time, you guys. Every season is like this. When altcoin season are doing well, which I have my altcoins, right? But that doesn't mean I don't like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the number one, okay? The number one for a reason. It's old and clunky, but yes, it works. That's why people trust it. A lot of people trust it. Yes, institution trust it. Why do you think they promote it, buy it, and all that stuff? Just try to get you to grow accustomed to trusting the network. Jack Dorsey, I know, again, it's scary if you don't know the technology and all that stuff. Yes, it can be. I have no idea what the end goal is, Perhaps is to steal a whole bunch of people. But again, that's why, the right to own your own digital data is so important, because especially in this age of information flowing so quickly, and with the AI invention, it's tough to keep your private life private, right? If you wanted to, if you have the choice to. So I don't know, again, you hear about AI and you train it to be you. There's a what is it, the video generated by AI. You could technically upload yourself and then they would just automatically talk as if it's you and all that stuff. So you don't actually have to be in the room. I get it. Like, if you're famous and all that stuff, you could amplify your popularity based on that. But for the regular folks, I'm sure we're going to be mined in that way, where, your data would be uploaded to the cloud and, everybody has access to it for sure. But so again, that's why it's imperative to have some sort of digital ownership of your own sovereign. I think which country they did they make a law where they copyright your own likeness and image, and even your voice too, because if somebody were to use your voice somewhere generated by AI, you could technically take it down or something. You have the rights to your own image, which is, I think it's needed in this country as well, with the digital passport thing too. Oh my gosh, that's kind of scary to think about, but it's here, you guys. They were talking about it. Tokenization, it's coming. All of that is a language that blockchain community, I've heard these terms 10 years ago, even, when Ethereum becoming more popular and all that stuff. And they're pushing Ethereum pretty hard right now. Not to say that Bitcoin is not going to take advantage of my point is that Bitcoin will be still the number one because people trust it more, and the whole decentralization thing, proof of work and all that stuff. will still be the most, I guess, the most people would trust it more. Because with Ethereum, there's a proof of stake. Yes, it's useful. However, it can be expensive as well. That's why they created the layer 2, layer 3, or whatever, right? To try to, decongest the layer 1. But with layer 2, it's kind of like challenging, right? Because unless you are in the right platform, you may not be able to communicate with the other. Like it's not multi-chain. So that's a challenge for the blockchain developer out there. But guess what, you guys? If there's money in it, people will develop on it. No doubt. And honestly, I think GME would be able to do that as well if they want to take that approach. Technology and all of that, it really depends on the demand. And I think Ryan Cohen pretty aware whether he could use something with blockchain or not. Right now, I think he's just being very conservative on the approach to, like, you don't have to be the first, right, of anything, which is, I mean, I respect that because, I mean, while being the first could generate that hype in the first launched, you might not have the valuation to sustain that growth, right? So I would much rather have a company that is sustainably growing slowly because, hey, I'm here for the long haul, right? I want the company to generate money for the next 100 years. So imagine if Ryan Cohen were to, use that $9 billion. Let's remind ourselves that we have $9 billion in the company to do whatever he needs to. And now, if the market never comes down, yeah, people are gonna be very critical, right, of Ryan not deploying that cash. But imagine if he had, money over here. Back then, we didn't. We did have some money, but we didn't take advantage of the drop here. But this drop is in the index, you guys. It's not much of the company so much. But yeah, so I mean, my speculation on GameStop is that they can corner the blockchain and leaning towards that tokenization route, and they could make their own brand, NFTs and all that stuff. Still, again, like that door is wide open now. So, do you think that Ryan is not even, looking into it? Like, you'll be mistaken. Like even the push start arcade, right? You could technically build that platform, and so like it would last forever, and every single transaction would go to GameStop. Technically, they could create their own blockchain too, right? That is interoperable, or they just use Ethereum based type of virtual machine. When there's money, you could hire people, the right people, to do that if you want to go that way. And I think, again, I'm sure he's waiting to see how much demand is in that space and how quickly can you scale that, right? With blockchain, you could scale a lot faster than, the regular. Because, again, guys, global, and it's 24 hours. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never sleeps. Okay. And on top of that, I mean, think about it. If you allow people to trade in and out of anything, that generates, even more, like the more transaction that you generate on your chain, the more money you make, right? But yeah, I don't know how they go about to do that. legal it is. And that's another thing too, guys. It's still the legal clarity that we need in the digital space. That's also the main point as well. That's why Ryan Cohen's probably waiting on that too, to see, okay, what is clear for them to get into. But in the meantime, there's nothing wrong with, making money off of push start arcade. There's a lot of people like breaking packs and, like on the go. I see a lot of that going on there. It's fun to watch though. Like I watch Moran's, his but anyway, it's fun to watch those type of things just to see how people interact with the platform. I don't have any access to it yet, maybe because I don't, do PSA graded anything. So, but will I? I feel like with my option, with my option account, maybe instead of doing calls, I might just do GameStop stuff. I don't know. We'll see. I still haven't decided yet. But that would be fun though. But yeah, so if you look at, the video for people who are breaking those, seeing their gambling nature, and you could lose quite a bit of money. Every transaction counts here. And so if you get people to get addicted to those things, and again, you have to be an adult, right, in order to buy into it, and have to be caution, self-control for sure. It's needed. Highly addictive for sure. And if you combine that with, loyal shareholder, yeah, they're gonna spend every dime in that website for sure. But yeah, I'm very excited to see how much it's going to generate and on the balance sheets. But also too, like it adds value for collectors out there. It's like, yeah, a little bit form of gambling there, because and you don't feel like you lose anything. Let's say you open a pack of $25, right? And that card is like $7. Okay, you get a card that is $7. You could hold on to that. It's almost like you're buying a stock that's worth $25 and it immediately goes down to a 7. That card might go up in price in, the next 5 years. Yeah, it sucks. Somebody might buy it from you later on down the line because they want that particular card. So that's also, a use case too for added value. Even though, yes, it's a form of gambling at that moment, but GameStop get to make that money immediately. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. But and again, like they might not even make that much either, because the cards that were worth more, like the grand prize, yeah, it might be too much. Who knows, right? But I'm sure they have a calculation of like, okay, for every 100 packed, you're gonna see, a whole bunch of good stuff. Hopefully it's like a random thing, right? And it's not rigged. It's not like algorithmic. Anyway, I have my coffee. Okay, let me talk about this real quick, because like I saw this, and while I do agree with this, but this one is actually incorrect at the moment, because apparently they raised the market cap of the S&P 500 qualification. So instead of $10 billion, perhaps this is an old post? No, it doesn't seem like it. Instead of $10 billion, it's actually now $22 $8.7 billion. It's insane. So why are they raising it though, right? Is it because of GameStop? I know everything revolves around GameStop, apparently. But yeah, they just raised it this summer, July 1st. So we still have to try to beat that, right? Can we beat it? Of course. I think within a year or so. Guys, if you get to buy a company that is cheap enough that it's not in the S&P 500 yet, but you have 5 years, for example, are you mad at that? Are you mad at that opportunity to accumulate the share? Come on. Crazy. You'd be crazy to think that. But anyway, what do you think the institutions are doing right now? You see the institutional ownership going up to the right, right? Let me see. Is it Intel? Yeah. Intel. I'm kind of curious because it used to be like okay. What? What just happened? Are they scrub the data? What's going on, Fintel? You don't want to show people how much GameStop institutional ownership is? What? Wait. Am I tripping? Oh, okay, it's a different one. Ooh, scared me. Hold on, you guys. That was the wrong ticker. Daily Flow, nope. I want GME. Give me a different ticker. What's wrong with you? Insider, owner, institutional. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, so all right, so we see the increase. Now I remember, was it 33 here or 40, something like that. Oh, man. Serious. Try to show the people. Okay, so it's 42. 46 right now. Yeah, it's increasing. Clearly. So they've been accumulating like crazy. I know, this is because of the split, remember? And then I think if you were to like split adjust it, this line right here, if you divide everything by 4, okay, it's still high. You would see like around here, maybe here, okay, if you divide everything by 4, everything equal, if they have not split the shares and all that stuff. So that's why, again, this a bit misleading. I hate it when they do that. Why not they just I don't know why they don't split adjust it so that people could see the relevance of it. But still though, you could clearly see that the trend is going the other way, where the institutions has been buying, but yet the price doesn't do anything at all. And again, thanks to the dark pool narrative, right? Whether it's narrative or not, or they're just buying it so slow that they don't want to, just enough so that the price doesn't go up. Just to make it sound like, just to make it look like the stock hasn't done anything. Nobody is, nobody is paying attention to this at all. Again, sentiment, you guys. Sentiment matters so much in this type of market, because it's the information age for sure. If one people, and again, that's why they pay the bots or pay people to try to convince other people that, hey, it's not doing something, right? Why do you think that they spend that much money to convince you otherwise? And again, it happens in every security, guys. It's not just GameStop, even Bitcoin too. People who have vested interest in Bitcoin will promote Bitcoin to the masses, and at the same time, they just know when to sell, and then they just sell, and then they tell you to buy, vice versa. The famous one is JP Diamond. Okay, he was notorious at saying, okay, Bitcoin is like a pet rock, and push. Fast forward to now, they are the largest holder. Apparently, again, things like that happens all the time. You get misled, you get misdirected to the true information about something. That's why, again, information, if you've had the right information, you're going to make the best trade from that. And, because institution has the most amount of information and they paid for it, they feel entitled to those type of information. They don't necessarily is going to tell you, okay, sell here, buy here, and all that stuff, because that's not how they make their money. Anyway, so it's increasing, but let me look at the other site, because these two sites are different, but I like to cross-reference with this too. Stats. Okay, so it's right here. Perfect. All right, so you see that, oh man, through and through, you see this. Okay, increasing. It used to be 33. Remember Larry Chain post? I think this is the one that he used. Don't quote me on that. But it used to be 33. Okay, and I told you, right? If this ever go up to more than 50%, you're gonna see the run, right? Because when it reached a certain threshold, I'm sure the algorithm, whatever the index fund people, right, would be searching for those type of company that is, upcoming, that more institutions are owning it. Now I feel much more comfortable owning it. That it's not going to go down, because retailers, if they own most of anything, they are, antsy, meaning that they are most likely to sell it, and institution hates that. Okay. And again, not to say that they, they're not shorting it or anything like that. Remember, you guys, only a handful of institutions are actually shorting this. If you look at the short versus long, like institution, let's go this. Okay. Right here. Okay, total long. Look at it. There's a lot of institutions out there who are just straight up long only. Okay. Shorts, what? Look at it. Less. Okay. And then long and short, like these are the hedge funds out there that they are, they don't care which direction it's going to go to. It's just going to go to that. Right? They're just like, okay, it's coming down now. Let's just, do the shorting thing. But then if it's about to break the trend, they're going to go the other way. And so you're technically only fighting these short onlys, the short only people still are in a disbelief of some sort, that they don't think that Ryan Cohen could pull it off, that perhaps they just assume that Ryan Cohen is going to issue more share, which, hey, he has to do what he has to do to try to grow shareholder value. Um, and whether he is going to issue more debt to do that, hey, every single company in the world right now are leveraging debt. And the fact that we got one 0%, that's not too bad. Not too bad, really. That's amazing, actually. I don't understand why people think that that is a bad thing. But hey, whatever, Tony. You're probably scheming right now to try to. No, just a little jab there. But and again, like to twist it as if like I saw his video, right? And to twist it as if the bondholders are there just to long and short. Yes, I mean, of course they do. So what? The fact that they, show interest in not only giving GameStop money, like, and it's not like $2 or $3 here, okay? It's billions of dollars. When is the last time people give anyone, any company, billions of dollars to buy anything, to do anything with it, right? To the tune, like, they told people that they're gonna buy Bitcoin with it, right? And I still think that he's gonna add more. You guys, like, it'd be crazy that he's not gonna add more Bitcoin to this. It's crazy, huh? Duh. Oh, hey, what's up? I haven't seen you here. I don't know. I recognize your handle here. Bought more last week. Yeah, perfect. But anyway, so the whole convertible notes. Oh, you just don't know how the convertible, note people think. So what? I mean, so what if they think that GME is going to go down and all they're doing is to keep the price down artificially? That doesn't do anything for investors, by the way. Right? Now for traders, yes, traders going to be pulling hair out because they want volatility for tradings. And because GME hasn't had any volatility yet. I'm not saying it won't, okay? Because again, volume is non-existent, you guys. And I'm telling you, this is much better for the investor. And that's why institutions are loading up. Because they load up on low volume and because they have the ability to buy in the dark pool quietly. They do that quietly. And by the time you realize that the institution has more than half of this company, that's when you start to hear it in the news. GameStop does it again. Memes mania. It might go to $10,000 a share. I'm telling you, this is what they do on Bitcoin too. I'm telling you. Okay, so just follow the money. Right? And just stay calm. Like, and know what the game is all about too. It's not up only. It's not down only either. Okay. Crazy, you guys. But anyway, I'm just talking about the price. But yeah, look at this. So how many is that? 6%? Yeah, 6% up from what I remember. It used to be 33. So I'm telling you, institutions love this increase, and more institutions gonna be like, okay, since this pension fund, again, there's a lot of copycats out there, you guys. Like they just copy each other here. The institutions, the same thing, much like retail. They just, when they trust each other, it's like, okay, so and so is into it. Why not? That's why, Warren Buffett is followed closely. Sometimes, like if Warren Buffett buys something, guess what? Look at the stock. He just recently bought United Healthcare. And, the day that it came out that he bought it, it's like 13% up, right? Can you imagine if Warren Buffett's going to buy GameStop? What's going to happen? Yeah, I don't think he will, but when GameStop is $100 billion, he's gonna buy it. I'm sure. The next from here. But anyway, so they do follow each other, and then they're gonna be like, okay, so and so bought it, so I feel a lot better. Let me put $10 million in there, right? And so they buy slowly, and it's like, okay, let me look at the balance sheets and da 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 da, right? It's like, okay, it's actually, doing much better than I thought. It's the opposite of what the news is telling me. So let's see, they're actually making profit. So why is the news keeps telling them that they don't make any profit? Guys, these people are not dumb. Okay. You could be skewed by the news that you hear, by that piece of information at that moment in time. You might hear this right here, a sound bite, right? People don't look into anything at all. They just see this and then they just like, okay, I'm staying away from this. Revenue's down, I'm staying away from this. They don't even look at the minute detail of what is happening right now. That's precisely why they will be missing out on this, and typically that's retail, because retail don't have either the time or the patience to look into this themselves. And again, I mean, I don't blame them, because with this information age, you guys, like, you get so exhausted to to the max. Because even with the good things, right, and people are still, like, But to me, honestly, I'm so contrarian. I'm so used to people just, talking crap. That I'm like, okay, well, just wait and see, and you'll see the real, the strongest of all, and they will come up even stronger. People who have failed so many times, in their life, they typically get better at it over time. Okay, Ryan, right? As a CEO, that's why I have the song about him and all that stuff. I hope you guys enjoy that too. Ryan Cohen, the underdog or something like that. Oh yeah, one of the song was written wrong. It's AI generated, you guys. So I should have proofread it before I send it in. But it says something about his disability. I mean to say his ability, okay, to turn the ship around. But yeah, so I mean, with Ryan Cohen, right? If you look at his personality, he's just there working his ass off, right? And he doesn't care about whatever other people saying about his company. He just know his ability. He just know that he could turn this company around. And if you don't see that for yourself, that's on you. If you don't know how to read people, who are actually delivering, the result. And I know Wall Street, right? They don't care about, hardworking people. They only care about their bottom line, and they want it now. They want it today. They want it 10 days ago, right? If you're late to deliver a stock price, they only care about the stock price, you guys. They don't care about the well-being of the company. Why do you think Apple now is becoming less and less about product? I just watched a recent, somebody did a good video about how Apple is now only care about, profit over the product that is delivering. And that's why they're suffering right now, where they spend 10 years of zero innovation whatsoever. Because they just think that they are way ahead of their time, and they think that nobody's going to compete with them, right? That's the greatest. That's why, again, 20 years ago, when you look back in time, the top 20 company was not the top 20 company today. Okay. So eventually you're going to fall if you're not, caring about the actual, value of the company, that this will create long lasting fan base, type of thing. But they have captured the most value already for, from the iPhone, iPod, and iPhone product software or whatever. So Steve Jobs has been doing quite a bit of that design, and of course, Tim Cook was also a part of that too. However, I think Tim Cook and Apple, Tim Cook and what's the other one? Steve Jobs are a different, type of leader, I guess. Tim Cook is more about like money oriented, financial engineering to get more shares or stock buyback or, stuff like that. But while Steve Jobs was more about the design and creating the best product. And again, that's what you're supposed to do, right? As a company, you generated the customer, and you kind of train your customer to like your product. And I think Ryan Cohen has some of it, And of course, people know, how dare you compare GameStop to Steve Jobs, or Ryan Cohen to Steve Jobs? Yeah, I'm comparing. So they're two different people. Obviously, they're not the same. But I could see, the determination that he has, to make the best product, to delight customer. And he had some success already by any standard out there. I guarantee you, if this institution, listen, if the institution own most of this company, you're going to hear some good news. You're going to hear like the tune has switched. I've since believed this like in last year, actually. When they're beginning to cover GameStop in a better light. And the reason why they are, shitting on GameStop fundamentally, stock price wise, they're trying to create that, doom and gloom just long enough so that they could accumulating from you, right? From retail, from the impatient people out there who cannot wait, or doesn't have the capacity to even add more when it's low enough for them to do that. And so again, like you guys, it's not rocket science. If you believe in the company or any type of asset, the best thing that you could do is to buy and then do nothing with it until your thesis is correct. Not financial advice, but just common sense. And again, like the fact that you are able to get it before the institution FOMOing into it, that's when you make the most money, you guys. Peter Lynch also talks about that too. That if you could find a company that is misunderstood by the big institution out there, that's when you make the most money. Why do you think I'm so concentrated? Currently I'm more concentrated to my crypto portfolio, but again, I still have pretty substantial, exposure to this company, and I'm planning to add more, but yeah, I mean, goodness, like, and here's another thing too. I feel like, typically people who have crypto, right, they will know exactly when to, well, not exactly, but I'm saying they typically know which cycle that they are in. Of course, the newcomer might not be able to know that, unless you study it for years and years already and kind of following what the crypto cycle, 4-year cycle, and all that stuff is. They typically take their profit out and then get into something else. And my prediction is that when Bitcoin reach all-time high, people are going to take profit along the way, and then dump everything into GameStop. That's what I'm planning to do. I'm telling you. So if GameStop is at this price point right now, I would be so happy, you guys. I'm telling you. I know that's a bit selfish of me to say, because I know a lot of people might want it to go higher right now, along with Bitcoin and all that stuff. Again, it's all about timing here. And if I'm not able to do that, then of course, I missed out. But I have still, substantial amount right now exposed to it. But I'm trying to get even more share, right, from that. So yeah, I think young people is gonna do that too. Like people who are newcomer to this, and then they're like, okay, what else is next? Okay, a GameStop is pretty, meme-like, and then they get pumped like that. But in the meantime, obviously, there's still a what is it? The I saw Moran's video. Got the yen carry trade. So that's also one of the a catalyst that might do something with this too. But again, I don't know how fast. I mean, look at this explosion here. Boom, right? It's so fast that you can't even react to it. Okay, so you might see something like that again, right? And then they do another reset and all that stuff. But I truly think that something violent might happen here after this, or maybe into next year too, like Q1 of next year, because by then you're gonna have 1 year of data of how much they're actually making. Remember, Ryan Cohen says we are going to be profitable each quarter from now on. Okay, so that's good. That's good to hear. At least he's giving you the guidance right now, and people are just like, oh, that's not much. We're gonna be profitable every quarter from now on, and people are still asleep on this. Can you think? And people are gonna be like, it's gonna be 10 more years before GameStop become anything. Okay, all right, wait 10 more years. You wait 10 more years to, accumulate your shares. I'm just gonna do it every chance I have. Okay. Let's see. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad either, if that's the case. Okay, so forward looking, right now it's guided down, right? Forward looking PE ratio. I know people see this and they're immediately oh my God, that's too expensive. Keep in mind we're still in the transitioning mode, okay? And keep in mind too, we used to be negative. Now we're positive $200 million. Goodness, and people are still really? Are you falling asleep on this company? Right? And I don't understand why people see cash laying around and people are like, that's nothing. Okay. They could technically buy their own float back right now. Right here. Every single dollar is going to go back to stock buyback. I don't know how legal that is though, but it would be amazing to see, right? Even if just half of that, just go $5 billion stock buyback. There you go. And I'm sure people are gonna be like, "Whoa, the executive's gonna get so rich off of this." Okay, well, let them talk. Let them talk. Why did you short the share then? But I don't think Ryan Cohen's gonna do that. I think he's gonna do death by 1,000 cut type thing, right? So, and in a way, that kind of helped the people who are shorting this a little bit here, because he's giving them a little bit more time And he's saying, like, again, without saying it, that, okay, if you want to wait, you could short more if you want. If you want to wait until, GameStop make more money and, doing even more damage before you close your position, okay, be my guest. Because, like he said, ultimately, they would have to cover their position some way, somehow. It's a matter of time. It's not if, it's a time thing. So until then, Jimmy has to do, just has to continue to do what they've been doing the last, 4 years or so. 2 since Ryan Cohen come in, right? I think September would be his 2 years anniversary. But yeah, for 2 years of cleaning up this mess and now ready to scale and thrive. That's amazing already, you guys. But anyway, back to Bitcoin. Let's see. I mean, based on this graph, right? 400,000, 500,000. And I think, again, it's unbelievable to me that it's still undervalued here. Okay. Or to many people, actually. I don't know. Again, somebody that I know kind of disagree with me here. That because of the math, it doesn't add up. That Bitcoin is going to, go to $1 million right now. I'm like, well, I mean, I don't think it's right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is, within this cycle. It's a bit predictable, actually, because of the math, right? But I mean, look at the what is it? The glow here. I mean, the color. So we're kind of heated in that. So perhaps that's what stopped people from buying. But even if it comes down here for the next year, because of the unemployment spiking, or Jerome still keeping the rate as is, it's kind of stagnant a little bit here. There's no growth, and it will come back down here to test that previous all-time high. Even then, we're still, like, Bitcoin is still going higher. Makes no sense. That's insanity. Anyway, are you guys falling asleep already? I have no idea, guys. If you're still here, congratulations. I think you need some help. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate that though. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so even if it comes down to this level here, which hardly think that it's going to happen now. With the rate cutting lower, Jerome Powell coming out and say that he's gonna seemingly implying that he's gonna let the inflation go a little bit higher than expectation, than he intended to, which is above 2% a year. Yeah, your buying power is gonna erode even faster than so every 10 years or so, your money would be double. No, sorry. Your money would be eroded. So if you have $1 today, 10 years from now, you probably have only 60 cents. 60 cents. So if you are a saver, like meaning you're saving money, your 100 grand right now would be 60 grand. 60 grand. Yeah. And again, like if they say it's like 2.5%, you think it's gonna be 2.5%? No, it's probably more like 8 to 10%. No sleep? Okay, perfect. Then I could go on forever until the end of time. Let's see. I don't have any more stuff to say, you guys. But yeah, this is a good, checklist for sure. We have all of this already, except the market cap. And hey, that's a good problem to have, actually. Now, of course, ETH has been pumping, by the institutions. I mean, I'm not talking about the price yet. ETH is going to be in the narrative now where, if you don't own ETH yield, staking, and all that stuff is kind of a good place to start your, I feel like this is a long-term play if you want to. I don't think ETH is going to go anywhere. All the institution is already trying to build on it. They've been building on it for the last decades, trying to improve their, scalability and all that stuff. Not to say that other coins, other chain is not going to take over, but they need to prove now with the utility based type of thing. So this industry is booming. So the next 10 years, you're going to see programmability money, and people already talk about that already. So it's crazy stuff. Okay. Scary, but crazy. Scary, but exciting type thing. So yeah. With that being said, I think if GME were to build anything on Ethereum would be great. And even if they hold Ethereum, some Ethereum anyway, for the yield also, you get 3% off of, the supply that you lock in for the staking. So look into that, Ryan. I know you watch the show all the time. Just ideas out there. And also too, if you want to build on the XRP ledger, you can do that too. But again, I'm sure he's gonna wait until all the clarity and all that stuff to play out first. I think the next 4 years would be wild, for all of the innovation that is in this space, and then you combine that with AI, the growth is going to be crazy. So you have to get ahead of it for sure. You have to get ahead of the trend. It's scary. Yes, because it's still early. You're still early at this price point. When people are, everybody is not gonna really get it. I mean, if you Google how many people actually own Bitcoin right now, you're gonna see some shocking number. I thought it was a lot higher than that, but apparently less than 2% of the world population actually own Bitcoin. So what does that mean? Does that mean like it's overvalued? No, it's severely undervalued. And only 15% of the US population owns Bitcoin. So most of that, I know institution owns most of it. So, but the fact that they're not dumping it, right? They might see the value there. Or it's locked in somewhere, I don't know. I just feel like people are fearful for the wrong reason here. And anytime when people are fearful to own something, you might want to own some at least. Okay. Just some, not enough to cripple you if it goes to zero, but just enough so that if it goes the other way, like, $100 million, then you have some skin in the game. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, with the tokenization, another narrative that is also exciting. With XRP, I know there's been a lot of FUD around XRP for some reason. People are like, oh my god, it's terrible. Why is it not? This is crazy, you guys. Like, I try to do this. Am I doing something wrong here? Okay, XRP. Perfect. With the narrative that XRP is dead and, and guys, if you have some like lawsuit and you win the lawsuit of the, century here, the only blockchain company, well, not the only, other stuff too, they didn't have the money to fight the fight. But not only that they have win the lawsuit, but also proven that this particular coin is not a security. So you have the clarity already. No other chain had the clarity except Bitcoin and Ethereum. So now you added, XRP along with it. So of course XRP is going to do well, you guys. Okay, and I truly believe that XRP this time is going to flip Ethereum. I don't know how high Ethereum's going to be, but whatever Ethereum is going to be, by the end of this bull run, XRP is going to exceed that. And again, for many reasons, you guys. Like, I know, again, the whole decentralization thing might be in question because it's the way that they are confirming transaction, the master nodes and all that stuff. You need to learn about it yourself if you, want to get involved. Like I said, I'm not a technical person, so I'm not a coder, so I don't know. What I've learned is just from the internet, you guys. Just be careful. I might be wrong. But to have that clarity, the popularity, in the human psychology, that's in and of itself is valuable, okay, for the long term. Okay. The same way, why is Bitcoin is more valuable now? Because more and more people subscribe to that idea. And as time goes on, do you think younger people gonna buy gold versus Bitcoin or buy more Bitcoin versus gold? The world is digital now. And so of course they're gonna buy Bitcoin. So the 10-year-old today will have, 10 years of indoctrination here to buy into Bitcoin. The same way, why do you think the internet is so big? It's because younger people interact with it. When I was 10 years old, I was interacting, I was primed to, to do computer stuff and playing games and all that stuff, right? So that's why internet is so big, because there's a lot of interaction there. And it's amplifying now with the blockchain. You are making money on top of it. So with that lethal combination, right? It'd be crazy for you not to at least pay attention or learn something about it. I'm not saying to learn to code or anything. Okay, it's a plus if you know how to code, right? Then you know which code is the best one to have and to hold and all that stuff. How this particular chain will protect your asset and all that stuff. But yeah, so it's a battle for sure. I know even with the Bitcoin community, apparently there's a core group and there's two different groups, I guess. Like one group is like, okay, if you want to send a transaction, you have to be verified in that mempool or whatever. And then the other group was like, well, that's not a, free market then. If you have to verify and if you have to have a permission to spend your Bitcoin, then it's not a real decentralized thing at all, which I agree. And again, like they try to say that, oh, it costs so much energy, but that's the only way to keep it more fair, right? Because you can't have a group of people telling you what not to do with your money. You earn it, right? So that's a dangerous part, and it's been like that. I mean, look at there was a video of somebody got arrested because he was asking for $5,000 of his own money from the bank, and they don't give it to him. And then, understandably, he was mad, and then he was like, got arrested by the bank security or whatever. Somebody called cops on him. But it turns out to be like very intrusive, if that's what happened. That's why, yeah, it's scary how it's like your money is actually not your money. Like when you deposit money, if you read the legality of it, apparently it belongs to the bank. You no longer in the ownership of your money. Yes, even though you deposit that money. And that's where the world has come to be okay. Yeah. Because, again, they don't have the fiduciary responsibility to keep your money, safe. They changed the language somehow. Yeah, again, so that they could do the fractional reserve banking and use your money wherever they wanted to, whether to short something, to long something, leveraging it, right? And if it goes wrong, so what? The government's gonna bail them out. So again, that's the whole reason why Bitcoin was, such a big deal, because if you know how to self custody, right, you're technically in ownership of that particular part of the network, right? And so you get some vote in that, but it's like highly. Most people are afraid to do that, including me. Honestly, I don't, hold personally. I hold very little of my whole network here that I hold, in my self custody wallet. Not enough. Like, for some reason, I trust, the other platform more. But yeah, that's what most people do. It's normal. But that's not to say that the whole entire network is not gonna do well, because people still have that flaw. With Bitcoin, though, because of the fixed supply, it's hard for these people to create more of it, even if they have paper Bitcoin, okay, meaning ETF and all that stuff. They still have to buy that Bitcoin somewhere on the open market, or they have to mine them themselves. And it's easily verifiable, for sure. Yeah, some ETF structure it in a way in which they won't be able to see who owns what. But the fact that you could verify the supply instantly, that's a plus too. So value is everywhere, you guys. Like, now you just have to decide, okay, which chain is going to do what. Bitcoin's going to be a store of value. ETH is going to be the underlying application type of, internet here. So yeah, it might be bigger than Bitcoin, more useful. However, it's less secure, right? And also too, it could have like, a problem of, what is it? Network congestion. Too many people using that particular chain. Ethereum has that problem with the too many people using it, and the more they use it, the more higher the gas fee is. So it end up being less than what you think it was. So that's why every transaction you get a fee. So technically, GME could use that same, same thing, but instead of building it on Ethereum, you build it on XRP Ledger, because apparently you could achieve the same thing with the less less money, less fee for sure, because it's cheaper, faster too. But yeah, you have to trust the network though, so they have to study the network and all that stuff. Goodness. Okay, you guys, I am actually spent. I do need to meet up with my friend in about a couple hours still. But yeah, I think I did pretty well today. I was gonna go on for another hour, but I feel like my voice is diminishing. And so I think about 2 hours is a good amount. All right, guys, I will let you go with the song, and I hope you like it. AI generated for sure. And let's see, which song should I? All right, let's use this one. All right, guys, see ya. Bye.
Best time to be alive, so bright. Push start, shining in the light. Bitcoin rising takes the flight. Collectibles lead the financial ride. Gamestop's got cash to roll. No more burns, just profits low. Small patrons may steal the show. Quarter gains begin to glow. People's eyes will open wide. Shock will spread like waves and tide. Gamestop's power can't be denied. Watch it rise and break the line. Soaring high in the digital sky. GameStop and Bitcoin side by side, leading the way in e-commerce as fame. Gaming and car collectors untamed. GameStop's got cash to grow. No more burns, just profit flow. Small but strong, they steal the show. Quarter gains begin to blow. People's eyes will open wide. Shock will spread like waves and tide. GameStop's power can't be denied. Watch it ride and take the ride. Retailers under attack, feel the strain. GameStop's resilience rising while the world's in need. Small but mighty with cash to lead. Billions waiting for the perfect dips. No cash to burn, just profit she rips. The CEO speaks with a confident tone to loyal shareholders who stand alone. Buckle up and just be wise. Interest aligned, no compromise. Can't stop, won't stop our rise. Power till the players touch the sky. Gamestop is thriving while the market fades. Strong and steady where the future waits. Opportunities are ours to trade. Growing strong and never sway. The CEO speaks with a confident tone to loyal shareholders who stand alone. To the players touch the skies. Every time we rise, they doubt the way we play. But we're holding tight like the stocks on the rise today. In the game of dreams, we're pushing through the grind. With every touch of hope, see our futures unwind. Taking back the power, can you feel the thrill? So let's lift each other, let the world see with resilience flowing. We'll claim our victory in the spirit of the fight. We rise and ignite. Hand in hand we'll shine in this newfound light. From the bottom steps, now we're reaching for the sky. With a movement strong, we're spreading wings to fly. Invested in the dream, never backing down. With the heart of a lion, we wear the crown. Together we'll ascend, hear the crowd's loud cheer. So let's lift each other, let the world see. With resilience flowing, we'll claim our victory in the spirit of the fight. We rise and ignite. Hand in hand we'll shine in this newfound light. Keep on dreaming big, together we rise tall. In the heart of the hustle, we'll conquer all. Keep on dreaming me, together we rise strong. In the heart of the hustle, come the roar. Together we rise so. You in the hall, the love so. We'll conquer all. In a world risk and chance. Ryan Cohen takes a stance. CEO leading with a plan. Gamestop's future in his hands. From the ashes he'll rebuild with determination, unyielding will. No safety net, no looking back. Cohen's vision on the right track. Ryan Cohen, oh Ryan Cohen, pioneer of a new age. Ryan Cohen, oh Ryan Cohen, writing amidst a new page. Ryan Cohen, oh Ryan Cohen, GameStop speaking in the night. Ryan Cohen, oh Ryan Cohen, guiding with unwavering light. Underestimated but not out. Cohen's resolve leaves no doubt. Revolutionizing the game, transforming GameStop's flame. Shareholders rally by his side. Cohen's spirit they can't hide. A journey of transformation, leading GameStop salvation. Ryan Cohen, the Ryan Cohen, architect of a new dawn. Ryan Cohen, the Ryan Cohen, with him GameStop will spawn. Ryan Cohen, oh Ryan Cohen, GameStop's phoenix in flight. Ryan Cohen, oh Ryan Cohen, guiding with wisdom and might. No risk too great, no challenge too tall. Cohen's daring spirit meant to stall. Through trials and triumphs, he'll prevail. A story of resilience to tell. Ryan Cohen, oh Ryan Cohen, a legend in the making. Ryan Cohen, oh Ryan Cohen, GameStop's future it is taking. GameStop stands out from the rest, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Bitcoin soaring high, Ryan Cohen leading the way, working for free, investing his own pay. The media scoffs and sneers, underestimating his power to steer. But watch as he turns the tide with determination on his side. They doubted his disability, but he's proven them wrong with humility. Buying shares with his own hands, transforming GameStop's lens. The skeptics may doubt and jeer, but Ryan Cohen has no fear. He'll show the world what he can do and lead GameStop to something new. So raise a Glen to the underdog. different. That much is clear. With riot going at the helm, there's nothing to fear. So let the media laugh and sneer, for GameStop's future is bright.
GameStop is rising while the world is asleep. Small but mighty with cash so steep. Billions waiting for the leap. No cash burn, just profits we keep. The CEO speaks with a confident tone. Let them short, he's focused alone. Building business to the bone. Buckle up and just be wise. Interests align, no compromise. Can't stop, won't stop our GameStop. Power to the players, to the mountaintop. GameStop is thriving while the market sleeps. Strong and steady where the future creeps. Opportunities are ours to reap. Growing strong and playing for keeps. The CEO speaks with a confident tone. Shareholders stand like solid stone. Future bright and fully grown. Buckle up and just be wise. Interests align, no compromise. Can't stop, won't stop our GameStop. Power to the players, to the mountaintop. GameStop's got cash to grow. No more burns, just profits flow. Small but strong, they steal the show. Quarter gains begin to glow. People's eyes will